Hey, I'm back. It's been a week, and I'm here to partially fulfill my empty promise I made. And that is this 90-day blunder and drawing challenge. So I'll get into the results in a sec, but I want to quickly just cover why I'm doing this. And that's just mainly because I've been working on my own game, and creatively, like, I just haven't been able to do things I would like to do, like making weapons or characters, and even the map itself. I just can't express what I want to express with my current set of skills. So that's currently the reason why I started this, and why I want to get better at drawing and using Blender. And these are the results so far of my week. So the gesture drawings, this is what I started with. I saw a quick video on how to do them, and decided I'd just follow along, and started the week with this. So on the first, and I just got 20 of them done. And so I think at the beginning I was just trying to get used to like the surface, so I was just, you know, taking my time. I didn't actually put a timer on it, but eventually I started using like 30 seconds or a minute to get these drawings done. And I think I actually say here for the second, I started with 30-second drawings for the first 10, and then I was using a minute for the second half. Yeah, that's what I got so far. And then eventually I switched over to my tablet because yeah, I was kind of uncomfortable using the Surface and learning Create at the same time, so I'll take it easy. And this is what I scuffed. But yeah, I was trying to get used to using the stylus again on the tablet. Did those in 30 seconds. And then this was the minute long one, I believe. So that was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 over here. And then for the following days, you can take a look at these. They're pretty scuffed, but you know, they weren't perfect, and they didn't need to be. Just kind of getting used to drawing and getting into the habit of it. As I mentioned, trying to just build that habit, and also getting used to like not being perfect, because to be honest with you guys, you know, as a perfectionist, I really love, like, you know, putting my best foot forward and like making sure that everything I do make is like my best effort. But it's not very helpful when it comes to learning if I'm scared to like make mistakes or whatever. So yeah, for the most part, these drawings are pretty bad, but they were quick, so I have the excuse to, like, you know, this was made in 30 seconds or a minute or whatever. So there wasn't really much I can do, and I'm happy about that, though. You know, I think it was well worth the time I put into making all of these. Oh, there was this one day where I thought I clicked, I thought I clicked on the option, so it just shows me 20. And it was apparently like it defaults to unlimited, so I was just there. Oh my god, why can't I reset the what's it called? I was just there, just drawing like crazy just because I forgot to set the setting correct. So I believe it was like 40 of them before I like figured out that something was up. Let me see if I can just scroll all the way to the right. Yeah. 42. I ended up doing 42. I'm like, why is it taking so long today? And then yeah, and then this was the 7th. I get those 10 done. Yeah, so that was it for the gesture drawings. And then let's see, sketches. Okay, so I did need to do sketches. I'm gonna move this over. So I started with a god, and then I was like, you know, try to make it a little bit better, and then make like a concept weapon. It was like a weapon it was combining like the Galil and like the R97 from Titanfall, and, you know, the actual rifle. And I want to be eventually, you know, able to turn this into an actual 3D model, though it's pretty scuffed now, so yeah, not sure how well that'll go. Did I end up okay, and then on my sketchbook I did end up drawing this. It's pretty scuffed, honestly. I didn't really get the proportion correct. I started following a video for the very beginning. There's one artist that makes music, Inabuki Mori, I think it was. And I just pulled up a picture of it and started drawing from reference. But yeah, it's still pretty scuffed, mainly because I started off wrong with the head. But I'm still pretty happy that I did end up doing it, so yeah. And now moving to the actual Blender stuff, I'll just quickly go over some pictures here. I follow the donut tutorial, got these donuts done, yeah. Pretty happy about that, you know. Alright, and this is another picture there. I'll just pull it up on Blender. Let's see, donut. And this might take a bit. Boom. Pretty happy about this one as well. Yeah, there's a donut there. And then the other thing I did in Blender was this deal. Alright, this is either day 5 or 6, not really sure if I'm counting Sunday as part of it, but hey. And I was able to follow the tutorial, got a deagle. I didn't actually make the textures here, I just laid over an image of it. The same image I was using for the reference. Oh god. Oh. Well. I don't know why that's happening. But yeah. The image I was using to actually model this is the one that I used to texture it in like UV edit it or whatever. And this was pretty fun. I finally got a decent model of a weapon that's not a block. Done. It is pretty low quality though, I'll give you that. But it does have like, I can if I were to want to animate it later, I believe I'm able to separate this out. So like I can make like a shooting animation or like the reload animation. I didn't make the mag though, but that's pretty easy. It's just a square. So pretty happy about this. Getting, you know, pretty close to what I wanted. The proportions are kind of messed up, but hey, I made it. So I also just made a stool. Like this is one of the first days, just practicing. It was really simple. All I did was like extrude square or whatever, or plane. Alright, so now that you've seen the results, you might be wondering what kind of plan I was following and what do I plan on doing for the next couple of weeks to be able to continue this progress and eventually get to the point where I feel comfortable with my art. I started off with this document here, just quickly whipped it up, figuring out like what exactly the internet is saying about how to start learning how to draw. And you know, they were saying something about like lines and building confidence and whatever. So that's what I was doing with the 100 gesture drawings, some sketches, and some line drills. I'm not sure if I included that in the results, but yeah, it was using some sheets of paper to like just do some line drills and stuff. This is all like a work in progress though. If I see something that I might want to change, or maybe some better advice or whatever curriculum I want to follow, I'm going to be following that instead. Another thing to know is that I've been using Drawabox, but that was towards the later half of the week. I didn't know it was a thing before. And so I think I'm going to be following their lessons. I'm just going to quickly pull it up. So they have some free lessons here that are pretty good. And I did end up buying some fine tip pens. And so I will be following this curriculum alongside what I previously wrote here, just to give me some sort of like a goal for each week I can hit and easily see how much progress I'm making. Because it's really nice having some sort of structure. If you want to take a look at this, I'll just quickly scroll through so you can pause if you like. This is for the drawing. And as I mentioned, this is work in progress, so very likely I'm going to change things, but yeah, these are like the final 90-day goal I want to be drawing, I guess. Some art for my D&D character, maybe something for some concept art for the game I'm working on, and a weapon design. And that is for drawing. And for Blender, so Blender, I've practiced a little bit in the past. Like I blocked out a weapon from a YouTube tutorial, and that was just to have something as a placeholder for my games. So I've always wanted to get better with this, and this is where I'm starting with. This is what I originally planned on doing, and that's why I made that stool. But then I was like, hey, why don't I just do the freaking donut tutorial, you know, and actually get my foot in the door with Blender, like everybody else does, apparently. So yeah, I followed that donut tutorial, and you know, rendered that scene out, made some camera stuff, frames. I'm not sure if I pulled up both pictures or if I pulled up the pictures at all in the results, but yeah, I did end up doing the camera stuff. And as for the primitive stuff, I did the chair, and I did the gun, and then I did the donuts. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think at least for this, in the spirit of this, I did complete the weekly deliverable. Maybe not word for word, but that's not really what I'm here for. As I mentioned, all this stuff is just here to give me an idea of what I should be doing. And, you know, making sure that I am completing stuff each week. So I will likely change this, or adapt to what I need to. That's what I had for week 1. I didn't, as I mentioned, didn't follow it word for word, but yeah, pretty happy about that. There's week 2. I'm just going to scroll again. I'm not sure if I'm going to follow this word for word. And then by the end, I want to be able to have an actual animated character, and probably a weapon. I'm not sure if a weapon here, and I don't know what this is. All right, so that's what I was gonna do for that, and then for grading, I did end up having a grading sheet, just to give me a little bit more, what's it called? That pressure that school gives you, you know. Kind of missing that. So I'm gonna be doing this each week and will be grading myself. So for drawing, I do believe I did complete it, so I'm just gonna quickly put in the skill growth. I mean, 0 to something is 10, I guess, and then presentation, whatever. I think I don't really do. So yeah, I'm gonna give myself a 30 for this, you know, just giving myself some medals, you know. Gotta do that. Completion, I didn't follow it word for word, but I did do the spirit of it, so I'm just gonna put a 9. Yeah. Skill growth, you know, I feel like I'm much more confident now with Blender, so yeah, I'll give it a 10. And presentation, yeah, never fine, yeah. Alright, unpaid TA. Yeah, that's you.
Huh?
Alright, so look, this is my gesture drawing sheet. At least for this week 1, I don't really think there's much you can really critique, other than the fact that, yeah, this is my work in progress, I guess, yeah. So yeah, you see this? I did this, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, of course. And then this, you see this? Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but...
Yeah, I got you. Look, let me just zoom in real quick.
What the hell? How did that turn into that?
Oh, it's because when I'm drawing, I just like zoom in. Oh, okay. It's like I was using like the tablet, you know, the one I was using for school, Samsung.
Makes sense.
And this one day, I kind of like forgot to put the limit on, and I was like, why is it taking so long, huh? And yeah, I ended up drawing like 42.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not letting me zoom out again.
Wait, this is one day or...
No, I put the dates. So this one is like 6. That one was the 3rd, all the way at the top.
Okay.
Yeah. I was doing like 20 a day. Well, I was supposed to until, you know.
Oh my god, I love the booty.
Yeah, the booty. It wasn't very fun looking at booty. Especially when I was a guy. But oh well. And then I was doing like some like line drills and stuff, you know. Just practicing. And then I did the first sketch. It was supposed to be a gun. It looks more like yeah. Anyways.
I mean, I see it.
Yeah.
I see you.
It has some features that look like a weapon.
I see the vision.
Yeah. There is something there.
Hey, we call it a sketch, guys.
And this is the actual first sketch I did in the actual sketchbook. The face is like really messed up, you know.
But I'm blind.
But yeah, that was the first drawing that I actually bothered to do.
It's better than what I would have done as a little kid.
Oh yeah, I mean you were pretty young, so it was pretty good that year. And this is actually 3D modeling now. Donuts. I think I showed you, right?
Yeah.
Some
Donuts be looking mad good.
Yeah.
Making me hungry even more.
And I'll just pull up the chair, I guess. I made a chair. Yeah.
That's
a
stool.
It's a stool. Yeah. You're like, that's a chair, where the legs at?
No, it's this type of chair, guys.
Yeah, okay. Let's see.
Some high-tech chair.
I'll show you the deagle. I did end up making the deagle.
You did that?
Yeah, I did that.
You did that?
Yeah, I did that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look, it has a circle.
Oh my
god, right? Crazy.
Oh my god. It's a gun.
It is a weapon. But I didn't make the details. Like, if you see, this is how it looks like. I just put a picture of the gun over it.
I mean, it looked like it. It looked like it.
So this is how the gun actually looks like when I 3D model it. So I just traced like the outline of the gun, and then I just like made it thick. Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, I mean that's how people typically do it, and they actually add details. But like I'm not really that good, so I don't know how to add the details and to make it actually look like a gun. So I just cheated.
This is like pixel art.
I guess so. And then the actual donuts. Yeah, it's how it looks like without the actual materials. And then when I actually used this, it's gonna take a little
do
bit.
all the plants and stuff?
No, I actually used like a library for that.
Okay.
So it was like already made assets, but I did make the plate and the actual donuts.
You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd probably go and grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in front of me. I'd probably just yank it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It has no right to look that good. So.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised. Like, I feel like anybody can make donuts like this if they were to follow the tutorial that was on YouTube. It's a pretty good tutorial. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is pretty crazy. Yeah. It just took a very long time. Like.
To figure it out.
No, just like following the actual tutorial.
Oh
itself.
yeah, no, because it's pretty slow and you're doing it step by step.
Yeah, I mean the tutorial itself is like 4 hours, 5 hours, or something.
Yeah, that's when I skip it and try to figure it out on my own and then mess it up anyway. Hey, at least you followed it through.
Yeah,
Congrats.
I'm pretty happy
I would not
about
have that dedication.
and I feel a lot more confident about it. So I did end up giving myself a grade.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just pull it up. So this was for the art stuff. You know, I gave myself a full mark. 30.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I completed what I wanted to complete. My growth. Obviously, if you start from 0, you're gonna
get something.
Yeah. So that and then presentation. Is my work neat? I think so. I labeled it week 1 gesture drawings. Yeah. Not really sure how you label this, but yeah, it was good. And then for the blender stuff, I didn't give myself perfect, only because I didn't actually follow this word for word, because I did end up changing it to doing the donut tutorial, which I feel like is much better than just doing
mushroom.
Yeah, just doing like a very basic
you have
stuff.
To do all of those things?
That's what I was planning on doing.
Nice.
So I made the gun, and then I made like the stool, but I didn't end up doing like some extra stuff. But I didn't end up doing the donuts, so I feel like that was pretty justified.
Oh, this was something.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that was week 1. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, for the gesture drawings, like you're putting them too close together, and like I feel like it would be better if you could like move them like so that you can see what day it is more properly.
Yeah. So the reason why they're so close together is because I have 30 seconds, and so I was scrambling to like move zoom out enough to move. Sense. Yeah.
Okay.
And especially when I was like this one, I was using the laptop, right, the Surface, and I have no idea how to freaking use Krita that well. And so it was like, how like the tablet has like touch projection, so you could use your palm on the thing and it won't mess up. The Surface, at least for Krita, doesn't do that. Maybe I have to figure out the settings for that.
Maybe.
And
it was pretty complicated. It's a whole thing to learn.
Yeah, it was messing me up, and I was so angry that I just switched to my tablet. So that's why I was like doing this, and I feel like more comfortable because when I was doing notes and stuff with it, obviously I'm more used to it. So
yeah, and it just makes more sense.
All right, so I was able to quickly zoom out and move a little bit.
Yeah, this one's a bit better in terms of seeing how it's more spaced out.
Right, like I guess you still have to kind of zoom in to see the dates.
Yeah.
But that was mainly for me, to know, I did this. So
okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm not. This is not really to show off. This is more like a homework assignment.
Booty.
Yeah, that's a big booty right there.
Scrumptious.
Look at that booty right there. All right, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to the next week or so or future?
Next week, you should make a ballerina.
A ballerina, like drawing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gesture.
Okay. Whew. I was like, I can't read all of that.
Nah, you know what? Actually...
No, I'm stopping it here. Well, now we're approaching the end of what I wanted to show for the week, and this part is just for me mainly, and I'm just gonna quickly it's like a retrospective, honestly. I had started off. I'm really proud of what I've done so far. This week itself, I've actually finished something that I thought was a stretch. There's no way I'm gonna do 100 gesture drawings. I don't even know what those are, and I finished them pretty easily. And for Blender, I got a lot of progress. I was finally able to do that freaking donut tutorial, and I was able to follow like a Udemy course thing for low poly gun modeling and finish that dig off, which is pretty cool. I don't think I would have been able to do that without starting this, honestly, or at least this quick. You know, I was able to just get it done, and I'm happy about that. Hopefully, you know, I'm able to continue this, and if I can say something or anything for the future self, I guess. I hope, you know, I'm able to continue this and finally create what I always wished to be able to do, whether that's, you know, the game itself or just things for myself, you know. And, yeah. You know, obviously, I'm not going to be able to learn art in 90 days, like, completely. Like, I'm not going to become a professional or whatever, but I hope it's something that can, you know, help me get started and create things that I'm, you know, proud of and be able to use for my own projects, even if they're not the most polished, you know. Yeah. I hope this can help to inspire anybody else who's interested in doing something that maybe art, maybe something else that you're interested in and never took the leap for. You know, it's one thing starting, you know, I feel like that's the hardest part. And then after, it's just continue the habit. And, yeah, it's been nice. And I hope to be able to continue this, even with, how crazy my life has been this past week. I'm shocked I was able to find time to do this, and I'm glad I was able to. And, yeah. I hope maybe this weekly video stuff is gonna help me have that, like, you know, the urgency or whatever it is to get on it and, you know, wake up every day and decide to, yeah, I'm gonna do this because, you know, I have to or whatever. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in for this. Have a good one.